Hey guys, I'm the one who pulls the strings, and welcome to this video, which may be the most hated video I will ever do because, as you guys know and can read from the title, this is about Dan and Phil and why I can't really enjoy them anymore. And usually I have a piece of paper when I make these types of videos. I usually have a piece of paper saying down all my points. It has all my points, my reasons, my explanations, but really for this video, I tried doing that, but there's no way to really prepare for this sort of topic in a sense. I just feel for this topic, I just need to be able to kind of talk about it as thoughts are going into my head and as they're coming out of my head, so bear with me, guys. And hopefully I can edit whatever parts that are uninteresting out. So let's see how this goes. So yeah. Honestly, I don't know how this video is gonna go because we all know that videos like these, especially if they include Dan and Phil, they spread quickly among the fandom. And alright, let's just get a few things out of the way. The first thing is that I know a lot of people can come at me with very valid reasons. People are going to be like, oh, you're not relevant, you're not even big, you're not even famous, you're a hypocrite, all those types of things. And I get it, and I'll try to explain my best why I feel these things about them, and I'll try to explain my point of view. And there's just so many things I wanted to say, but let's start from the beginning of why I wanted to make this video. So I originally never had the idea to make this type of video. I always knew, ever since from last year, that I didn't really enjoy Dan and Phil anymore, but I still watched their content to see if maybe things would change, and they really didn't, and they slowly declined. And by the way, disclaimer, this is not a personal attack against Phil Lester or Daniel Howell. I'm talking about their content and how they present it, and sometimes that may feel like a personal attack, but we also need to keep in mind that this is YouTube, and the lines between business and personal always cross each other, always. And so whatever they put out there, whatever they share, whatever we can speculate, that's what I'm putting my information based on. So I think that's something we all need to realize, and also realize that this is just my opinion, and this is not an attack against people who do like Dan and Phil. So, okay, let's start from the very beginning. Sorry, I got so distracted, but as I usually do. But anyway, let's start from the beginning. So Dan uploaded a video today called "Rip, Dan is Not on Fire." So I watched it, and I didn't know what to expect, but I realized his username changed, or the screen name changed from Dan is Not on Fire to Dan Howell. Now, I really don't care about what his username is, or like anyone's username is. They have the right to change their username based on what they feel is right for that time and moment, but something really irritated me with Dan changing his name, and it's not maybe the reasons that one would expect. It's not because I hate change or anything like that, but it's the reason that, but it's the fact that Dan kind of in the process took something away from his channel that was kind of still a redeeming quality about his channel in a sense. And maybe I wouldn't be so mad about this name change if he uploaded frequently, or even if he didn't upload frequently, he would make original content. And unfortunately, none of those are true in his case. What's been happening with Dan's channel is that he has been uploading less and less original content. I'm just at a loss of what Dan is doing. And same for Phil, honestly. I can say that I enjoy Phil's videos a lot more than Dan's, but I'm finding it really hard now to enjoy any of their content because it just seems so lost. And there's just some things, like, they aren't that creative anymore, and that's something I really liked about them in the beginning. And yes, I have a feeling if anyone sees this video, which people may not because I'm not relevant at all, but that people say, oh, things change, oh, they're now bigger YouTubers, you have to do this thing. But what happened is that they became bigger YouTubers because of their original and creativity. And yes, people do change, but there has to be a balance. If you're gonna give out less original content, then you have to upload frequently. There has to be a balance here. Then there's no reason for you to take a month or 3 weeks to upload a challenge video. There is absolutely no reason for you to do that. For me, if I had the opportunity to be as big as them, I don't know. I don't know what I would do, but anyway, we'll get back to that later. That's another point. Anyway, off topic. I know my brain's all over the place. My brain is fried from school. I'm sorry. Anyway, but they don't do that. They upload very unoriginal content with long wait periods, and it just doesn't make sense. For me, it's alright if you upload once a month, it doesn't matter, but it has to be original. It has to be worth waiting for. And like, people can be like, oh, one who pulls the strings, you're a hypocrite, your uploads aren't even that creative, you know, all these types of things. But I don't know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say about that, but I try to keep integrity. I try not to necessarily lie to my audience or keep up this facade pretending that everything I do is so good and so great. It's like, this is not pertaining just to Dan and Phil, but to all YouTubers. They have like an air around them. It's like they think that they're more superior than other people, and like, to me, maybe that makes sense if you're a celebrity, but even then, not that much sense. But okay, maybe if you're a celebrity, but you are a YouTuber. It just blows my mind why they would think that. The fact of the matter is that we made them as an audience. They made things that appealed to us, but they just can't use us. It's really frustrating, to be honest. And obviously every YouTuber is different. You could be asking me, why am I not talking about this, about Superfruit? They don't do very original content. Well, the reason why I'm not talking about this subject towards them is because they are musicians. They are part of a group called Pentatonix. They do a lot of creative work outside of YouTube. YouTube is like a second thing to them. I totally get that. And it's the same thing for me too. Although I do not have a job, I do have other social media that I post actual artwork on. So I feel like there's a little bit of a balance there. Sometimes I can take away from YouTube, and sometimes I have to take away from that site. But either way, it's like you have to try to be as original as you can. And I know, like, my past, you know what, let me check on my phone actually to see what my past YouTube videos are. And like, yeah, people can say, oh, you're not that creative, but honestly, I don't know. So my last YouTube video was called A YouTuber Tried to Kill Me. That was a parody. Although it may not seem necessarily original or creative, it is something. It is comedy. It is something I tried to parody. Maybe that's not an original idea. I don't know. I tried to put in my input in it as much as I can, but I also never claimed that I was original. I never claimed that all these things, but I don't, you know, it's just kind of hard to explain when there's like a whole big fandom out for you. You know, it's really hard to explain, but like, the fact is that I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't matter. It doesn't matter what I post. If I ever had the opportunity to be as big as Dan and Phil, to have as many resources as I do, to have as many connections as I do, I would try to upload original content every time I uploaded, which maybe once a month, but I would try to do original content. And the thing is, most of my videos, I try to put something. Okay, so maybe my last video wasn't that original. It was comedy. I don't know. Dan and Phil, they do comedy, but it's based in a way like Dan. He doesn't do reasons why Dan is not a fail anymore. I look at his other contents. He has challenges and everything, but that's not comedy in my opinion. That is just challenges, like his quiz or whatever. Like, I don't even know how to explain, guys. And like, this is probably one of my most unfiltered YouTube videos. Not saying that all my videos are filtered, because they're not. I really suck at editing. But anyway, then the one after that, my favorite YouTubers. Again, not original. I said that in the description. I absolutely said that in the description. It wasn't original. My video before that, it was my dance. Now, I don't know what you guys consider original or not, but it was a dance. I choreographed it. I performed that in a competition, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I believe it is original content because it is something I most definitely had to work for. Coming up with a dance isn't easy, and then performing a dance isn't easy either. That is a trade. That is a skill. Then anything else, like my covers, those are skills. Those are trades. You know, you don't have to be necessarily super original, but you have to show off a skill, a trade, a talent, you know? And like, being able to show off your relationship with your best friend isn't a talent. Being able to show off a challenge isn't a talent. Being self-deprecating in a way that doesn't really have any sense to it is not a talent. So, I don't even know how long the video is going on for, but I can feel the fangirls coming through my throat. But yeah, that said, I just really can't enjoy their content anymore. I just really can't. Maybe I've changed, maybe they've changed. I really don't know, but I truly do not like their content anymore. It just irritates me to the fullest that it just really does. It really does. I find myself being bored through many of their videos, and I know they have younger fans, and that's alright. They can be into whatever they want it to be. If they love seeing those little banter moments between Dan and Phil, then that's fine, but it just isn't for me anymore. And those are basically the reasons why I can't enjoy them anymore. It's because they haven't been original to me or creative, and like, they just, I don't know, it just really doesn't make sense to me anymore, their channels. Like, for me, there's no sense into it. And yeah, that's basically my video. And no, this is not a hate video, as I'm not claiming that I hate Dan and Phil or anything like that, but it just really disappoints me, honestly, their content and everything. So that's really all I have to say. And if anyone comments down below has any questions, then I guess I could answer them. I mean, you know, but I swear I just can't enjoy their content anymore, and I think that's okay. And one other thing, I think people will also perceive this as something like, say if Dan ever sees this video, which he probably will not. If he ever sees a video, people will probably be like, oh, this is hurting his self-esteem, this is bringing him down, he already has insecurities about hate and everything. Well, the fact of the matter, that is just the truth about the internet. I know that many people will not like my content. I had someone tell me that they didn't like my content, and I'm totally fine with that. My content is not for everyone, and neither is theirs. But you have to be able to take criticism. I've taken criticism ever since I was 11 and started posting artwork on social media. That's just what happens. And there is a YouTube comment that I won't forget. If you want to be in a business like this, if you want to be in an industry like this, you need to have thick skin. And you just need to have thick skin in general. And the thing is, I'm not claiming that I know what Dan Howell is going through. I really do not know what he's going through, but he doesn't know what I'm going through either. So we just have to be strong. That's all we can do as YouTubers, is be strong and be real with our audience and have integrity. And if we don't want to be original, that's okay. We just need to let our audiences know. We just need to let them know. And I don't know, for me, these changes of Dan and Phil are pretty irreversible to me. Like, I don't think they can go back to being interesting to me anymore. So yeah, that was a long video. Most people are probably not gonna watch it to the fullest, but you know what, that's okay. You can hate on this video as much as you want. It's fine. It's whatever. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. And like, yeah. So yeah, obviously this video isn't necessarily original either, but I did put some thought into it, so I guess that is what counts. And yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and if anyone comments down there, then thank you for your opinion. I really appreciate that. So anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye!